Hello guys. Alright, I picked this up off of an old junky Frigidaire. I'm assuming it was probably from the 60s or 70s. Hasn't ran in years. It's been on someone's porch for probably 20-30 years. When they stopped using it, it was just running all the time and freezing everything in the fridge, so I'm certain it was the old thermostat, so I didn't take any care with trying to take it off. It took us several attempts to get this thing to even start. The old relay is having issues. It wasn't working. I had a new old stock relay, just the exact same one that come off of it. The original cord was cut off. I just temporarily just wired into the old plug. As right now, as you can see, it's pulling 2.1 amps. And this is I've never seen a meter miser compressor quite like this one. It doesn't have mounting legs. It sits on one single pin up underneath the compressor. I've got the old condenser coil too, but I cut it loose. It's actually pumping. There's a suction. It's in pretty rough shape. High side. So it's actually pumping. Now I don't know how much oil is left in this thing. I was thinking about taking the service port off and maybe putting a little oil in it. It's actually sounding better than what it did sound now that it's ran a little bit, but it's in pretty rough shape. Even though it was under a porch for years, it was still out in the in the moisture here in the south. So if anybody's ever seen one like this or worked on one, let me know. I'm just curious. This one's actually just got the plug that plugs into the pins on the compressor. I've never seen a meter miser like this. I'm used to seeing the a lot older ones, but still pretty cool nonetheless. The only reason I got this thing, it was dark and up underneath the fridge. I couldn't really tell what kind of shape it was in. I knew it ran the last time they ran it, but I was just actually getting it to see if I could make it run, and if it wasn't in too bad of shape, maybe just holding on to it in case I ever need a spare meter miser. But this one's quite different than most of the ones that, or all the other ones I've ever seen. And I'm not quite not quite certain what this is. My guess is you're gonna have liquid refrigerant fall down into there, and you got your liquid line right here, your high side line going in, wrap it around the right here. But actually, when I cut the line loose, there was no refrigerant in the system, so it's leaked out somewhere. But on the other side of this condenser coil right here was real oily on the back side right in this area. So I don't know if it leaked out right there, what the deal was, but the amps started off with about 23. 2.3 amps, and it's come down to 2 amps and is sounding actually a whole lot better than it did earlier. I think the main thing, it just needs to run and lubricate everything. It might be all right. I don't know if it's actually got good suction on it. Stick it up closer, see if y'all can hear it a little better. got to get me an old service wrench for these old compressors. Either that or solder one in onto the suction side, I'm assuming. If anything changes, I'll let you know, but that's probably all for this video. But I just thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to kind of tinker with it a little bit just to see what it would do. And it was driving me crazy at first because that relay wasn't working. The thermostat is stuck in the closed position, so I'm going to turn it off and see if it'll actually start back. It took about 5 goes to get this thing to start. It's actually starting to get a little heat in the compressor now. Up top where I expect it to be on the high side. So this is a little different type of deal on the top. This compressor was sitting directly on the bottom of the fridge, and this is like a rubber grommet. I guess it was keeping it from vibration, keeping it from vibrating on the bottom of the compressor. But it's weird. It might have used to have some rubber grommets or something up underneath, but it's just kind of like I don't know, about a 1/2 inch pin, about 1 inch long, sticking straight up out of the bottom of this support bracket on the bottom, and it just has a hole on the bottom of the compressor that it sits down in. So thought that was pretty weird. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Bye.